You start out by saying there's a crisis at the TBI. You were working for the TBI for 9 years?
20 years.
20 years, and you didn't do anything to correct the crisis? Yes or no?
I'm not sure I'm not sure I said it was a crisis. I think there are issues.
You said crisis. I wrote that down.
Okay. There are issues at the TBI that I think need to be addressed immediately. I did raise concerns at the time about some of the hiring decisions.
What do you mean? I'm not trying to cross-examine you, but I'm concerned with the director of the TBI. You're coming across to me as somebody that rules by dictatorship instead of rule by having people follow him because they want to. You've accused Mr. Moore of not being a very good hirer of the personnel and running personnel at the TBI, and that's, I'm sorry, that's just wrong. And I'm concerned that you've been there for 20 years and all this stuff still remains. And some of it was made during the time you were there. So how can you sit here and convince us that you can straighten this out when you had 20 years to do it and did nothing?
Well, I don't think that there were problems for 20 years. I think the last couple of years has seen some problems with hiring and with the TBI spending and fiscal oversight. I will address those issues. I'm not accusing Mr. Moore of anything, but the hiring decisions.
That's what you said. You had to hire people that could immediately fill a job, and I think that's what he does. And I'm not trying to fuss at anybody, but if we're going to go after somebody, let's go after them. Go after the bad guys. I don't mind hanging all the bad guys. But people are dedicated their life, just you dedicated 20 years. Mr. Moore has dedicated his life to the TBI, and he's human, and I'm sure he's made mistakes, but nothing to criticize him with people being hired is bad or get the TBI back on the right track. It's been on the right track. And if you can't recognize that, I'm concerned about that. Kind of reminds me of the point where the mom and dad goes to watch their son graduate from basic training, and they say, well, look at Johnny. He's the only one that's in step. And I'm not trying to ridicule you or anything, but it concerns me with the person, the job that you're taking. It is a very serious job. If you've got to be a leader, and you cannot lead by being a dictator and telling people, you've got to tell them what you want to do and make them want to do it. And you, from all you've said, I don't think you can do that. Maybe you ought to address that.
Okay.
We have 1 minute left.
Okay. There have not been problems at the TBI for the last 20 years. I think the TBI has had problems the last 2 or 3 years. I think the questions that the commission asked reflect those problems. I do think we need to change some of the hiring requirements. I don't think those decisions were made by Mr. Moore. I will not be a dictator. I will seek consensus, just like I have done in building other programs at the TBI. I wouldn't have built programs as successfully as I did if I was a dictator and wasn't taking into consideration every person's contribution. I intend to build a collaborative team and listen to that team. I don't think that I can come up with all the answers. It's going to be about building teams within the TBI and outside the TBI to continue the TBI on the right track. We have got to fix some of the fiscal oversight and accountability issues that have been raised. We must restore trust in the agency. We can do that by making sure we hire good, qualified agents that take on and continue the great traditions that have been established at the TBI. That's what I'm going to do as the director.